We're on the last few days of June, and in a snap, the first half of the year is done. So let's step back and assess the first and the last 6 months of 2025 with an astrologer whose predictions on January 1 this year uncannily came true. Good morning. On behalf of Attorney Jimeno, I am Gerg Cahiles, and we're giving you front row seats here at the forefront. Renowned Filipino astrologer Resti Santiago is back for bold insights into the celestial forces shaping the second half of 2025. From political power plays to planetary warnings of potential unrest, he draws connection between alignment of stars and the state of the nation. What do the heavens reveal about the fate of our country and the world in the coming months ahead? With us this morning is respected astrologer Resti Santiago. Good morning, Resti.
Good morning, Gerg, and good morning to the viewers of the program at the forefront.
Now, balikan natin yung mga naging predictions mo noong January 1 because we were reviewing it and talagang marami ang nagkatotoo. So, isa-isahin natin siya, no? First one, you said that the House of Duterte will be eclipsed in March. So let's watch this.
In March 29, there will be an eclipse. So again, when there are eclipses, something is blackened or darkened, or hindered. So one of my forecasts last year is that the House of Duterte will be eclipsed, which means they will be affected. So as a whole, because the eclipse is almost exact on his birthday, so I think. Losing control of something maybe is the right word for that.
So,
well, former President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested and brought to The Hague in March. Ito pa yung sinasabi mong you will lose control noong January 1.
Yes, no. Although, syempre, no, astrology is a symbolic language, so that's actually one of I think the major manifestation of that. Kasi when the eclipses are the most powerful of all the astrological influences that has been known by different cultures throughout history. No? So parang that's the most powerful. So kumbaga, if we will align that with what was happening at that time, there was a case nga filed against him. So parang, and then one thing na very, very significant was that the eclipse was within 24 hours of his birthday. No? So parang we can say that it's a very exact alignment of that, let's say, negative energy that affected his chart. So parang putting this together, what was happening, what's going to happen with the eclipse, parang it follows that there's something that he values will be taken away from him, which is
His freedom. Oo, pero sabi mo nga, pag sinabi ba nating eclipse, talagang negative yung dinadala nito?
Generally speaking, yes. Unless you are, let's say you have done your homework, you did what you need to do. For example, in that case, no, he needs to face what's really level against him.
Now, you mentioned kasi House Duterte. So kapag sinabi mo bang House Duterte, kabilang na dito pati yung mga anak niya, former president?
Yes, I think so because they have a signature, astrological signature. Almost all of them has an Aries sign in their astrological charts. No? The father, Aries, no? And then yung mga anak niya may ibang planets in Aries. So kaya somehow they are all interconnected, which is actually a common thing, no? Your family has specific astrological signature. So when a planet is eclipsed in that sign, almost everybody is affected. No? So based on what happened, I think that was what I meant.
So ano, pag sinabing Aries, ano bang meron sa Aries?
Okay, number one, Aries is the sign of conflict.
Okay.
It's the sign of war. No?
Okay.
So it's not a peaceful, a peaceful sign. So So based on what they have done, for example, no, on the personal level, yung how they talk, they speak, and then maybe with regards to the effect. No? Of course, the war on drugs is a kind of war. No? is ruled by Mars.
Kung talagang mahilig sila sa ganito. Well, whether kung sino man ito, whoever, no, hindi lang sa mga Duterte, basta may Aries sa sign mo, more or less medyo combative ka or mahilig ka sa confrontations.
Yes, objectively speaking, that's the meaning of this sign Aries. No? For example, the most prominent Aries in the Philippines was Emilio Aguinaldo. So he fought for the Philippine independence. Pero depende doon sa pinaglalaban mo. Doon na nagkakaiba yung actions and decisions and choices.
Alright.
Which kind of war are you going to fight for?
Okay, that's interesting. Now, let's go to the second one. You pointed to Virgo's influence as an opportunity for PBBM, President Bongbong Marcos, to change for the better. So let's watch this.
3 planets are in the sign of Virgo, and then there will be eclipses in the sign Virgo this year. On the positive side, when there are eclipses, and if you are aligned with the energies or you are open to lessons, the eclipse period can be a time wherein you get to reinvent yourself, change for the better, in that sense.
Well, firstly, balikan ko lang, sinabi mo there will be eclipses in the sign of Virgo. Tapos na ba tong eclipses na ito?
Okay. One thing, eclipses, they recur for a period of 2.5 years approximate. No? So yung Virgo eclipses, nagsimula pa lang siya. No?
Okay.
It's always a pair, Virgo and Pisces. So nagsimula nung March, and there will be another one in September.
Okay, so kung babalikan natin yung sinabi mo, sabi mo it could be a time for President Marcos to change.
Yeah.
No? So nakita mo na ba ito? Have we seen that?
The influence is there, no? Parang fixed naman yung influence. So an example siguro dyan is that yung call for courtesy resignation ng mga government officials. So that's one way, one manifestation of him maybe listening to the people and changing his strategy or even priorities.
Okay, so kung simula March hanggang September ka mo, yung eclipse, no? So makikita pa rin natin to in the coming months. So should we expect more changes, more reinvention from the president?
Yes, I think so. Parang we can say na he's on an alert level, adrenaline rush na he cannot sit still, so he needs to do something maybe better. No? But again, that depends on the person.
Pero syempre, itong mga huling first part of the year, talagang nakita natin yung intensity ng away sa pagitan ni President Marcos at saka nitong si Vice President Sara Duterte. But ito, papasok nitong second half, parang ang messaging naman niya is he's open for reconciliation. Bahagi ba ito ng binabanggit mo?
Well, I think that is his strategy. Number one, he has a very important Mercury and Virgo placement in his chart. So he's actually a strategist of some sort, no? And yung kanyang persona, he is one of his planets is actually Venus, which is the planet of diplomacy. We see that expressed in his in the foreign affairs of the country. Parang nakafocus siya doon initially. And then ngayon, it's the same principle of peace diplomacy is there. No? But then, I think he is a strategist. No? So behind the scenes, he wants to achieve something big, when he stated that plan
Alright,
of
sige.
reconciliation.
Puntahan natin yung next prediction mo noong January 1. You predicted that Senator Imee Marcos will be luckier, but her alliance will be questioned. So let's watch this.
First half of the year, Mars will be affecting her planets. So there, let's say maybe her alliances will be questioned. There will be some party-connected misunderstanding or conflict. But on the second half of the year, she may be able to regain, let's say, these connections.
Okay.
So it will still be a good year for her.
This is really very interesting because in a way, kung babalikan natin yung mga nangyari pre-election, sabi mo March. Ito talaga yung panahon na nagkakaroon ng dikdikan sa kampanya nung eleksyon, ano?
Yeah.
And her siguro loyalty to the party, it was questioned. Saan ba talaga siya naka-alyansa? And at the same time, winning the May 2025 elections. Could that be considered a luck? Ito na ba yung luck na binabanggit mo kaya siya lucky this year?
Yeah, well, I think so, no? Kasi one of the most prominent signs this year is actually yung mga water signs starting ngayon June, no? So I think no, that's part of it, no? But again, yung involvement niya nga no doon sa controversy, no? Maybe it's also seen no? By that placement no? Early this year.
Okay. So, sabi mo kanina, si PBBM kasi ay diplomatic. He has signs na kaya niya makipag-usap ng maayos and magkaroon ng ugnayan. Ito ba, nag-extend ba ito sa kapatid niya, kay Senator Marcos?
Okay, yung kanyang sign kasi, no, si Senator Imee, no, is Scorpio, no? Okay, so Scorpio is...
Parehas kami, Scorpio.
Yeah, in a way, parang they like to work behind the scenes, no? They can be manipulative, no? That's one of the descriptions, no? So I think magkaiba talaga sila ng strategy,
Okay.
no? But then again, may keyword tayo na strategies talaga ang si PBBM. I think somehow no, they know what each other is doing.
Okay. Sabi mo ang Scorpio. Sorry sabi mo kasi ang Scorpio could be manipulative. No, so makikita ba natin to sa magiging tindig ni Senator Marcos lalo na't paparating yung impeachment trial?
Normally, our personality, parang damit natin yan, no? Based on the astrological influences. So kung meron kang ganong influence, may tendency na somehow you express that no, during critical moments. So yung example siguro nung yung nahuli silang coaching, no? Nung kino-coach si Senator Marcos ni
yes.
Senator Tesla, no? Joel, no? That's some way of expressing that trying to manipulate no? The proceedings. So I think hindi natin maalis sa personality natin yon, no? Kaya siguro ang major guide ng astrologers is we have to know our personality, but at the same time we have to stick no, with certain values and principles.
But the luck that you mentioned about Senator Marcos, hanggang saan tatakbo itong luck na ito?
Hindi naman siya very lucky. Parang meron kasing gradation yan. Eh, no? So let's say ngayon, starting June, no, yung mga planets Jupiter, the lucky planet, would align with 3 of her planets in the water sign. So although it's not the strongest, but still there is an alignment. So let's say she will not be a major player, no, but she's there trying to regain no, her what was lost when that controversy about party loyalty was questioned.
Alright, sige. Puntahan natin yung susunod. You also predicted that VP Sara Duterte will be facing a lot of conflicts this year. Let's watch this.
It's also a mixed bag for her. Mars, the planet of conflict, no, is very dominant no, in her chart no, because of the Mars retrograde movement. No, Mars will be staying longer in her Mars. Actually, she'll be having a Mars return. So Mars is about conflict or fighting. So it will be an intense period for her, especially on the first half of the year. No? And somehow there is luck, but also, again, Saturn is affecting her. So she will face more, I don't know kung it's cases or actions no, from the law or the government.
Now, you said Mars will be staying longer in her. Nandun pa rin ba yung Mars sa mga yes.
Yes, actually ang maganda nga sa astrology minsan nakikita natin to the day, no. So for example, when the impeachment case was sent and the recent one when it was nung eventually nag-move na rin noong June 10, Mars was actually exact no, or parang exact on her chart. Although ngayon wala na, pero critical moments no, when that case moved forward, there was Mars affecting her chart. No? So is there Mars is kaaway. No? So kumbaga nung nag-move yung impeachment process, and Mars was there in her chart affecting her. Pero ngayon, it's Saturn that's now affecting her. Saturn is the planet of accountability.
So, pag sinabi mong Saturn is planet of accountability, ano yung maaari nating i-expect in the coming months?
Okay, so actually yung chart ng BP is a bit complex, no? Okay. Sa chart mismo, there's a very lucky influence, Jupiter and Venus conjunction.
Okay.
And then a very unlucky influence of Saturn and Mars.
That's interesting, ano?
Oo,
nga, no?
conjunction. So ngayon, yung influences, yung current astrological energy is the same conflict of energies, no?
Okay.
At one point, Jupiter is affecting her, which means madami siyang kakampi, no? Madaming tumutulong sa kanya, no? Okay. But at the same time, Saturn is already there affecting her chart one by one. The problem is, yung Saturn mabagal gumalaw. No? Okay. But as they say, mga older astrologers, sabi nila, Saturn is the planet of karma.
Okay. So ang Jupiter niya, mabilis na tumatakbo, pero yung Saturn, mabagal. So ang ibig sabihin nun, anong ibig sabihin kaya nun?
Baka mabagal yung proceedings.
Okay.
But eventually, whatever, either through this process or something else, accountability is still being called for.
Mabagal ang process, you mean the impeachment? Posibleng ganon?
I think so.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, maaaring magtuloy siya.
Yung Saturn naman, tuloy-tuloy pa rin niya, mabagal lang.
Okay.
So yung Jupiter naman, which is good to her, somehow, no, maaaring nagpapabagal, maaaring may kumukontra. Pero yung accountability is still a very strong call.
Nako, aabangan natin yan, ano? Kasi syempre, nakaantabay din yung taong bayan kung ano ang pupuntahan nitong ating impeachment trial kay VP Sara. Now, let's go to the next one. You mentioned that Senator Cheese Escudero will keep his leadership. So let's watch this.
Hindi siya matatanggal. Yun ang nakikita mong prediction mo for Cheese Escudero.
Okay. At least in the first 6 months of the
First
year.
6 months.
Okay. Nako, 19th Congress, yes, he kept his position. Pero ngayong magbabago na ang composition ng Senado, 20th Congress, will he be able to keep his position as Senate President?
Okay, so again, I look at the stars that
Okay. Anong sinasabi ng mga stars sa fate ni Cheese Escudero?
Okay, so this Saturn nga has already moved signs. No? It was in Pisces last 2.5 years, pero recently nag-move na siya into Aries. No? Yung sign kasi ni Senator Escudero is Libra.
Okay.
Its opposite is Aries. No? So may opposition na sa kanya ngayon. So kaya recently actually madaming mga criticisms, no, sa mga actions and decisions niya, even coming from the top legal luminaries, no, sa country. Parang Saturn kasi is somebody more powerful. No? In this case, since siya yung Libra, something is opposing him, Saturn. In this case, madaming mag-o-oppose sa kanya. So I think na he will not keep his position in the 20th Congress.
Klaruhin natin, he will not keep his position. Kasi sabi mo may strong force na papasok. Who could this be?
Well, I don't know who personally, but Saturn itself, no, as a force, no, yung planet ng Saturn is opposing him. So ibig sabihin nito, siguro meron din talagang dissatisfaction coming from the other, no, members of the Senate. Kaya sa bagong Congress, baka, no, iba yung pipiliin.
Ngayon kasi syempre ang nagpahayag na gusto niya or interesado siya or welcome sa kanya is si former Senate President Tito Soto. So sa kaso ba niya ay maganda? Nag-a-align ba ang mga stars para maging Senate President siya?
Okay, I haven't checked his chart, but yung sun sign niya kasi is Virgo. So kasama yung Virgo nga sa pinaka-prominent ngayong panahon na to kasi may eclipse, no. On the positive side, no, Virgos are challenged to rise to the occasion. So I think based on that alone, no, parang he's really called for to rise na dito sa situation na to and maybe take the lead. But I don't know his luck yet. I haven't checked, sorry.
So sige, titingnan natin baka sakaling mahahabol natin mamaya. So among the stars, ano bang sinasabi nito sa mga susunod na buwan kay President Bongbong Marcos?
Okay, no, based on the time that I got, I don't know if it's correct or not. No? Yung kanyang ascendant sign is also Virgo, and then his sun sign is Virgo, September 15 na ata siya, no? So, we can say na double Virgo siya.
Yes, Virgo, Virgo.
Okay, so since there will be a series of eclipses in Virgo, so yung talagang it's going to be a challenging year. Similar to, no, for example, yung effect, no, kay former president, no,
Duterte.
eclipses 2.5 years in Aries, no. Okay, so pero apparently sa case ng former president, he did not listen, no. Okay, so ngayon the president is, I think, listening to the people, listening to the influences, and trying to recalibrate nga, no, his strategies. So I think he is more proactive, no. So okay, so the effect of the Virgo negative effects of the eclipses may not be so bad, no. But the tension, I think, will still be there. It's a very challenging period, especially ngayong September. And in case, no, I think, no, yung more destabilizing would be next year or 2027.
Wow. So, ang binabanggit mo, medyo mahihirapan siya. Reflective ba ito dahil sa mga nakikita rin natin sa mga surveys, talagang yung trust rating sa kanya medyo bumababa?
Pag may eclipse actually, no, ang basic symbolism ng eclipse is it's darkening. No?
Okay.
It's popularity is brightness, no. So when his signs are affected, yung popularity rating is affected based on that eclipse energy.
Kung tama yung pagkaintindi ko, sabi mo mas magiging challenging yung September sa kanya. And more so next year.
Yes.
Ano itong mga nakikita mo based on
number one, I think there will be a lot of pressure. So physically, health-wise, he needs to take care of himself. Mentally siguro, ganun din, ano? Too much will be demanded from him, no, by the situation. So it's a challenging period. Siguro sa Philippines kasi, ganun din, ang ascendant sign ng Philippines is Virgo. So kumbaga aligned din, no? Aligned, no? So naturally, may mga effects din sa Pilipinas na based on the political drama that will unfold. Starting August again, no? Parang baka may another part 2, no, ng mga scenario ng let's say March eclipses.
Alright, kasi kanina ang nabanggit mo is yung halimbawa, yung ginawang cabinet revamp early this year. Posible pa ba siyang mangyari sa mga susunod na buwan based on what you see?
Okay, so siguro hindi na ganon ka-drastic or hindi na ganon kalaki yung effect, no? Hindi na yung total, no, revamp, but siguro meron pa rin mga revamps that's going to happen, pero on smaller scale.
Okay. Now, syempre, kapag pinag-uusapan kasi itong 2028 elections at kung problematic sa Pangulo ang 2027, makaka-apekto ba yan sa kung sinong posible niyang i-endorso for 2028?
I think so, pero pareho sila. Yung dalawang kampo medyo affected. So, we can hope for black horse.
Oo, parang dark horse na,
Dark horse,
oo, na pwedeng lumabas. Okay, but anyway, sige, bago natin pag-usapan, sabi mo kasi both parties, pati si VP Sara, so hindi maganda ang mga susunod na taon kay VP Sara?
Based on the influences, kasi after this Saturn, yung Saturn nga kasi 2.5 years, and Saturn calls for accountability. It will hit her lucky planets. So medyo mababawasan yung luck niya. Tapos, the next set of eclipses will hit her negative planets until or around, no, even before election time. So between now and election time, yung kanyang popularity rating would actually go down.
Nako. Interesado ako dyan sa dark horse na binabanggit mo. Ano ba yung characteristics? So ano bang nakikita ng mga SARS para masabi na itong dark horse na ito ay mag-a-ascend?
Okay, that's still too far in the future. Pero pero ang one thing siguro sa Pilipinas is we need somebody na mas may background, no, sa economics, na magpo-focus, no, doon sa growth, no, ng bansa. So siguro management, economics background.
Sabi mo kanina, VP Sara, baka mag-drag on ang kanyang impeachment trial. Pero based on her luck at doon sa mga stars niya, conviction ba to or acquittal?
Okay, one thing dyan, kasi to be more specific, kailangan natin magsimula na yung trial. Parang I'll study that chart. Ngayon, I'm talking in general terms kasi the influences are still there. Hindi siya mawawala and the influence nga parang may additional pa. So, kaya ang kuwan ko dito is accountability no matter what happens sa impeachment. So, ibig sabihin, kung matapos yung impeachment na acquitted siya, tuloy pa rin yung call for accountability, maybe in other forms. And then, of course, kung na-convict siya, that's accountability. That's what's being called for by the planets right now.
Yeah, which makes sense because apart from the impeachment, meron siyang hinaharap ngayon or iniimbestigahan na siya ngayon ng ombudsman for allegedly mga issues na kinakaharap niya and among other cases na kinokompronta ng Vice President. Now, yung charts ba natin, may sinasuggest siya like other people from Mindanao na posibleng, may nakikita ka bang ganon? Mindanao-based person or personality na maaaring mag-rise?
Okay. One thing kasi sa chart, no, I need specific, let's say, birthdays or what, no. Ngayon, indirectly na lang. Indirectly,
okay.
The southern part of any country muna ngayon. Ano, kasi ito naman based on another system, no, which is Chinese metaphysics. No. There is a highlight on the southern part of the continent, of the country. So there's a highlight. No. I don't know kung that could mean a person coming from that area. Pero still, yung astrological signs ang siguro pwede nating tingnan nga na the Philippines is now calling for somebody na may practical nature background sa economics as well as parang focus on management.
Okay, thank you. Now, but are there any indicators of a sudden change in the balance of power in Congress within the Cabinet and the Senate? But before you answer that, at the forefront, we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back at the forefront with respected Filipino astrologer Resti Santiago for our mid-year predictions. So, Resti, are there any indicators of a sudden change in the balance of power in Congress, within the Cabinet, and the Senate? What can you say?
Okay, I think number one nga, no, there will be some changes sa leadership, no, ng Senate. No?
Senate,
number one, because actually yung oath-taking ng current president, parang we call that, no, that it was on a void of course period, no, especially yung oath-taking as a presiding officer sa impeachment. I think that's going to be an issue dito sa 20th Congress. And the 20th Congress, although they are going to be sort of combative, naka-highlight din yung Mars dito sa na to, no, sa Senate na to. But at the same time, they will also listen to the people.
Okay. And that's important, siguro. Pero pag sinabi mong they will listen to the people, bakit ganon? Bakit sila makikinig sa mga tao if they have their own perspective? Ano bang sinasabi?
Okay. So siguro that can indicate na medyo may faction talaga. No?
Okay.
May faction. But eventually, they will listen to the people.
All right. Now, you mentioned noong January 1 that something hidden will be uncovered in the case of Senator Bato de la Rosa. Let's watch this.
He has several planets in Aquarius, and whenever Pluto is highlighted, no, something hidden, no, will be uncovered. No? So I don't know what's that hidden thing is.
Ano ba tong hidden na to na ma-uncover, Resti?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Mars influence is over, so I think he survived that. No? But the Pluto thing is still there. Medyo mabagal lang, no? Kasi Pluto is the outermost planet. Medyo mabagal, no? So Pluto hasn't moved much, no? So I think the influence is that the potential of that something that will be made available, that information is still there.
Anong ibig sabihin pag may Pluto?
Pag Pluto
Ano
kasi
bang
is
indicator?
behind the scenes, no? And then Pluto is not a good planet, no, actually, no. It's considered as the god of the underworld, no. So
Okay.
sabihin nating mga activities niya na hindi alam ng karamihan, maaring tinatago. So, I don't know.
Hindi natin alam kung ano yun. Ano? But definitely, masasabi natin ba na he was relatively lucky this year because biglang sa rankings, di ba bigla siyang tumaas, number 3 siya, no? Nitong huling eleksyon. So anong ibig sabihin nito, Resti?
Okay, so he was lucky in the past 6 months kasi in the past 12 months actually, nag-shift lang nung June yung Jupiter, the lucky planet. So Jupiter was in an air sign. And then he has 4 planets in Aquarius, no, which is an air sign. So may luck siya until June, no?
Okay.
So it doesn't mean naman na bad luck na. Yun lang, hindi na supportive, no, yung majority of the influences starting June, no? So ngayon, yun nga, I don't know yung hidden aspect na yan. But the energy to bring it out is still there. Kaya lang mabagal nga yung action ng Pluto.
So it's waning. Yung luck ba is waning? Kasi sabi mo, June pa-July na. So itong dark force na binabanggit mo ng Pluto, ito na yung makikita natin. Ganun ba?
I think so. Although it doesn't mean na bad luck, pero it's more on yung kanyang, siguro yung help or energy that's supportive of him, nagmanifest as that, no, yung kanyang winning the senatorial race, no. But hindi pa naman parang the potential for him to be, let's say, called, no, by the ICC is still there. So I think maybe related sa case na yan na maaring umusad slowly but surely because we're talking about Pluto, which is the farthest planet in the solar system, no. So it's also one of the planets of let's say change and transformation. So the situation can change eventually, slowly but surely.
So, posible nga kasi syempre yung ICC case naman ay nananatiling nandyan at wala pang resulta. So, kumbaga maaaring ito yung binabanggit na ma-uncover or ma-reveal in the coming days. Now, ngayon...
months, hindi naman
months.
days.
Days. Sige. In the next coming months. Masyado mabilis nga naman kung days. Now, several local controversial politicians have been in the news. And dito, na-interview din natin yung karamihan sa kanila. Are there astrological indicators on what might be in store for them for the rest of the year? Simulan natin dito kay Governor-elect Noel Ebriaga Rosal na ipinanganak noong January 2, 1964. He's the Governor-elect of Albay. What can he say or what can we see sa kanyang astrological aspect?
Yeah, I don't know the situation, if I get it right, no, some of these people has some cases sa Comelec or I don't know, no. So I don't really want to comment sana on legal matters. But anyway, I'll just talk about the planetary influences.
Yes, what can we see? Ano ba yung kanilang siguro maaring posibleng kahinatnan?
Okay, sige.
Anong
So
direksyon?
I think, no, if the birthday is right, no, madami siyang Capricorn influences. And as I mentioned, no, Jupiter, the lucky planet, has moved into Cancer, which is the opposite of Capricorn. So that means that luck is not on his side. No? But then I don't know yung legal matters.
Yes. Kumbaga magiging embattled siya. Medyo mahihirapan siya in that aspect. Ganun ba?
Well, yes, we can say that.
Alright, sige, sundan natin. Si Governor-elect Pamela Baricuatro ng Cebu. Okay, she was born ng November 9, 1966. What can we say about her? Anong sinasabi ng charts tungkol sa kanya?
Okay, so I think may mixed energy sa kanya, but she's luckier next year. No? She'll be having her Jupiter return next year. So that's the lucky influences. But she has 4 planets in Virgo this September, so she will also be affected, no, by the eclipse. So pag eclipse, as we've seen in March, no, so may intensity, no, pagka-konektado yung chart mo to sa eclipse. So intense battle and maybe madami rin mga unexpected
Twists and turns.
twists and turns.
Sabi mo nga may Jupiter return siya. So medyo okay yun. Ano?
Pero
Positive
next
yun.
year pa yan.
Next year pa. So this next 6 months, medyo magiging...
Ito yung sinasabing bloody.
Okay, sige. Tingnan natin, abangan natin yan. So susunod dito ay si Congressman-elect Joey Uy of Manila. He was born March 15, 1962. At earlier ay siya yung nanalo, congressman, kaya lang idineklara ng Comelec na hindi daw ito dapat because of some issues. So ano bang nakikita natin kay Congressman-elect Joey Uy?
Okay, taga Manila ako, no?
Okay.
Kaya I don't know the legal aspects, no? Okay, but anyway, sa chart niya kasi may dalawang planets, no, na ito yung signs that are going to be affected, no, by Saturn. Saturn kasi is the planet with rings, so may limitations or may hindrances. So yung sun sign niya is Pisces, and his Venus, his popularity is in Aries. So ito yung iniikutan ng Saturn this year. So it means medyo malakas yung Saturnian influence, which is hindrances.
Hindrances, pero hindi naman necessarily unlucky.
Saturn is also connected with the law.
Okay. So talagang medyo baka mahaba-habang battle ito for Congressman-elect Joey Uy.
I think so. Or baka matalo nga.
Okay, sige. Next one. Itong si Mayor-elect Kevin Anarna of Silang, Cavite. He was born October 27, 1984. So, well, nandito siya, nito lang linggo, no? Naging guest siya dito kahapon. So, ano ba ang masasabi ng charts kay Mayor Anarna, Mayor-elect Anarna?
May complaint din, ano, sa pagkapanalo, ano, kina-question din, ano, okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, no? May 4 planets siya in the water signs. So, again, ano, based on the principle, no, water sign kasi is somewhat luckier this year, no? So, may influences sa kanya na supportive, no? So, let's say, if witnesses are going to be called, may mga witnesses na pwede mag-testify for him, no? I don't know the actual case. Pero may mga supportive influences
Na posibleng makatulong sa problema niya ngayon. All right, that's something. Now, let's go to Vice Mayor-elect Harold Respicio, born March 30, 1988. He's the Vice Mayor-elect of Reina Mercedes, Isabela Province.
March 30?
Yes, 1988. 30. March 30, 1988.
Okay. His signs are Aries. Meron din siyang Pisces and meron din siyang Virgo. These are the eclipse signs this year.
Okay. So,
pagka-eclipse nga, medyo mahirap, no? At kung popularity yan, it's a bit blackened, no?
Okay.
So, yeah.
medyo mahirap.
Medyo mahirap. No?
Oo.
Okay. Pero i-clarify lang natin, I don't have the exact date
Yes.
and time of birth.
Yes.
Kaya I don't have the exact chart. Kaya these are just still speculative on my part.
Kumbaga, in short, pwede pang magbago tong mga nakikita mo based on the time of birth and other factors.
Yes.
Alright, of course, at least malinaw yon para sa atin. And hindi necessarily, ito na yung mangyayari. Again, this is a guide, no, for everyone to check.
Yeah, they should take this as a guide, no?
Siyempre, dapat ganon. Now, let's go sa showbiz. Kasi nung nakaraan, nabanggit mo na itong si Ay de las Alas is going to have a transformative year. So let's watch this.
Pluto is affecting her moon, so there will be a lot of changes in the family, intensity with regards to relationships, no? Maybe a change of residence, something like that.
Right.
So it's a transformative year for her.
Well, napanood naman natin, she had a messy divorce, and yung mga actions niya to revoke yung green card ng kanyang husband, ano? So, related ba ito dun sa naging prediction mo?
I think so, kasi the moon is about family, home emotions, no, or loved ones, no. And as we mentioned, no, Pluto is not really a good planet, no. Parang hinuhuka niya yung mga hurt feelings, no? So intense, no. Pluto is a planet of intensity. So kaya yung kanyang let's say response, no, is a bit it's a bit extreme, no.
Yeah.
You don't normally do that, no. Right? Di ba, parang you want na amicable na settling of the princess, pero it's there, it's intensity. So ibig sabihin siguro talagang nasaktan din siya, no.
So what's next for her?
She's a very intelligent person, no? Meron siyang Venus in Libra, which is a lovable sign. So I think definitely she'll find someone else.
No, kaya comedy queen si Ay de las Alas, ano. Now, we've seen yung unusual number of celebrity deaths in the first half of 2025. In January, we had Gloria Romero. In February, it's Matutina. March, Delia Razon. April, Pilita Corrales, Nora Honor, and Haji Alejandro. Sunod-sunod to. May, we had Ricky Davao and Freddy Aguilar. And in June, si Kokoy Laurel. Is there any indicator pa ba, Resti, na magtutuloy-tuloy ba itong ganitong nakikita natin sa show business? Or can you explain what actually happened nitong unang part ng taon at bakit sunod-sunod yung mga namatay?
Yeah. So I think this is special. No? The planetary configuration is more fixed only for that period. No? So sabihin natin baka tapos na yung pattern na yan. No? Okay. The pattern that I saw was that during that March-April period, no? Which is a very intense period in general because of the eclipse. But at the same time, there was an alignment or conjunction between Saturn, no? It's called the malefic planet, Saturn and Venus, no? Which is the artists, no? Beauty queens, artists, singers. No? So, so yon. I think that's the signature that brought about, no? Or kung saan nagko-coincide yung mga deaths ng mga artists.
Okay. But will there be a better outlook para sa entertainment industry dito sa susunod na 6 na buwan?
Okay. I think in terms of entertainment, actually, luckier yung next year, which is Jupiter in Leo. Leo kasi is brightness, creativity. So there will be a resurgence, no, by next year. So ngayon in general, okay kasi sa mga drama, home-related issues, for example, yung issues ng anak, ng nanay, mga ganyan, even nurse, no. Yung mga ganung nauso dati, no, I think ito yung magiging mas prominent ngayong the next 6 months. But if you're asking me about for the industry as a whole, June next year until the following year, 2027, that's the best year siguro within this decade.
Kumbaga,
for the entertainment industry.
In next year pa, yung makikita ting resurgence. Pero ang binabanggit mo, mas emotional yung mas magkiklik ngayong mga susunod na 6 na buwan. Now, let's talk about natural calamities. Now, because you identified several critical astro-meteorological dates to watch out for. So, let's watch this.
For this year, here are the dates. January 19, May 20, September 21, October 11, October 17, October 29, November 18, November 25, and December 7. These are called astro-meteorological dates wherein plus or minus 3 to 5 days, the possibility of typhoon is very high.
Oh well, sa awa ng Diyos, wala naman nangyaring bagyo noong January at noong May. Pero meron kang binabanggit na September 21, October 11, October 17, October 29, November 18, November 25, and December 7. Puntahan muna natin yung naunang natapos na, yung January 19 and May 20. What happened?
Okay, actually, I did not review that aspect, no. But I reviewed my forecast for the rest of the year.
Yes.
At kung kasi yan, no? Parang yung planets kasi, or yung signs, no? Parang elements, no? So may element highlight, no?
Okay.
Dito sa we call that ingress, September 22 ingress, there is a highlight on the water signs. So water signs means lots of rain, no? Floodings, no? Etc.
Okay.
So I think itong dates natin for September 21 onwards, no? Is going to manifest as typhoons.
Okay, so talagang maulan. Ano ba to? Matitindi ba ang haharapin natin? Yolanda-like?
Maybe we've seen the worst siguro, no? And then may improvement naman ng konti, no? doon sa drainage system, no? So I think we've seen the worst, pero nature yan, no? It's natural sa Philippines na daanan lagi ng matitinding bagyo. Ito lang, ang ini-offer lang natin is using astrometeorology. These are the dates na tingnan natin, ano, parang be alert, no? We're not saying this is going to actually happen, no? I still need to perfect, no, this study. Pero so far, may level of accuracy tayo. So it's more on, bantayan mo yung week na yan, and then kung dadaanan ng path ng bagyo, at least may double check mo na baka nga, no?
September onwards. Now, sa world stage naman, Resti, with the Iran-Israel conflict intensifying, do the stars point to further escalation or any signs of peace emerging in the coming months? But before you answer this, at the forefront, we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back at the forefront. Still with us, Filipino astrologer Resti Santiago. Now, Resti, nitong nakaraan, nakita natin yung pagkakagulo sa Middle East, Iran, Israel. Ano ba to? Peace na ba to or mag-further escalate pa?
Siguro the right word to use is contained. I think it will be contained, but it's not going to be over soon.
Bakit ganun?
Number one, the US kasi, there's a cycle dito sa US na every time that Uranus is in Gemini, it will move soon for the next 15 years or so. So, normally involved ang USA sa the major war during that period. And then ngayon, we've seen talagang they did something with this bombing ng supposed to be or allegedly nuke facilities. So that invites retaliation for sure kasi yung Iran naman is ang zodiac sign ng Iran is actually Aries and ang USA Cancer. So that's actually Saturn in Aries and Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter in Cancer that's now actually battling in the sky above. So ito USA and Iran. So the planetary movements says that parang baka magkukontinue yan, although I don't think it's going to be a world war.
May zodiac sign din pala ang mga bansa. But how about Russia and Ukraine? Ano ba to? Medyo matagal na itong pinag-uusapan, matagal na nangyayari. Mag-escalate pa ba to o talagang sana matigil na?
Ganun din. So I think it will be a contained one, but the conflict is not going to be over soon because I think malakas din yung Pluto doon sa chart ni Putin. So he is really an imperialist. So he wants to expand itong Russia. So it's not going to be over soon.
Okay. And lastly, itong China and Taiwan. Pinag-uusapan itong China at Taiwan, medyo matagal-tagal na. Ano bang mangyayari dito sa dalawang bansang to?
Okay, so number one, dahil Filipino tayo, gusto natin sanang tingnan din yan. But I don't want to, ayokong makialam.
Yes,
okay,
of course.
But I will relay something na lang.
Yes.
There's a Taiwanese astrologer who mentioned nga na it's going to be escalating. Taiwanese astrologer.
Oo. At sobrang lapit nito sa atin, baka yung Pilipinas maapektuhan din,
Fortunately, sa Pilipinas, our military force or the planet Mars in the Philippines chart is going to be stronger.
Okay.
Starting 2028.
Ibig sabihin, if stronger yung planet Mars sa Philippine military, anong ibig sabihin?
Medyo hindi na tayo babatok-batok.
Okay. So ibig sabihin, mas malakas. Okay. Alright, sige. Ngayon, Resti, what does the second half of 2025 look like for the Philippine business seeking to expand or pivot?
Okay, maganda yung Jupiter in Cancer because the sun sign of the Philippines is Cancer. So again, pagka the sun, it's about visibility. So there will be more opportunities for, let's say, business people, yung may mga bagong ideas, yung may mga bagong products and services. So I would actually encourage everyone na at least try to capture a certain segment in the international marketplace. A good example dito yung Francisco Motors. So they are now delivering vehicles sa Africa. So I think that's the best strategy for most of us. Even actually yung mga creators, mga artists, pwede. So expand your market. And then because there is a lucky influence for the Philippines in general, kahit may drama sa political scene, yung galing ng Pilipino mapapansin.
Hindi ba nanenegate yun? Let's say, kung may mga political issues, hindi ba nanenegate yung positive signs na nakikita natin sa business?
With this influence, Jupiter highlighting the good qualities of the Filipinos. So I don't think it will affect negatively yung visibility nga or patronage, no, sa Filipino products and talents. So, ganun naman talaga eh. Whatever is happening in the Philippines, the Filipino can still survive and thrive.
Oo, and ang maganda doon, sabi mo nga, ma-highlight kung ano yung kakayahan, ano yung lakas na meron sa Pilipinas.
But it's a two-way call, no? We are also being called to come out and share what we have.
Now, let's go to your readings. Ano, mabilisan na lang siguro, no, sa mga astrological signs, if you may. Okay, that's for the rest of the 2025.
Okay, sige. Briefly, no, the luckiest set of signs are the water signs. No? These are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio.
Okay, thank you.
So, pagka lucky ka, it means may support, no, may opportunities. But it's up to you kung anong gagawin mo dun sa opportunities. So, for the water signs, grab the opportunities. Okay. For Aries and Libra, Saturn is going to be affecting your sign. Saturn is accountability. No? So, unahan mo na. Try to be more meticulous. Follow orders, follow rules and regulations so that you can have a stable year. And then the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, and also Libra, no? The Pluto influence is still there. It's about deepening, no? Deepening your involvement, your talents, and whatever you are doing, deepen.
Pero ano yung pinaka-unlucky naman? Kung may unlucky bang sinasabi before we end?
Okay, in terms of astrology, Saturn is the unlucky planet or difficult planet, and it's in the sign of Aries.
Wow. Okay, so mga Aries dyan, medyo kailangan magbantay-bantay. So, Resti, thank you very much for joining us this morning, giving us insights on what's gonna happen in the next 6 months. All right.
Thank you.
Resti Santiago gave a glimpse of illumination for the turbulent path ahead for Philippine politics, governance, and showbiz. In a year marked by transformation and tension, his insights offered both warning and wisdom to Filipinos. Guided by the stars, every Filipino is reminded that awareness and preparation can turn uncertainty into strength. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news, always stay at the forefront. Join us again on Monday for deeper insights on issues that matter. On behalf of Attorney Karen Jimeno, this is Gerg Cahiles. Thank you for spending your hour with us.